They just told you they love you, maybe 10 seconds ago. And some part of you is already searching their face for a second version, a stronger one, proof underneath the words you just heard. So you do the thing you never say out loud. You watch how fast they text back. You notice if tonight feels different from last week. You wait for the next, I love you, like the last one already expired. And quietly, you wonder what that means about you. That a person who was really loved wouldn't need to keep checking. That if you actually mattered to them, one answer would be enough. And you wouldn't still be standing here, re-asking a question you already got the answer to. For nearly the entire span of human existence, you never would have had to ask. Proof that you mattered wasn't something you had to extract. It surrounded you every day without you lifting a finger for it. That world is gone. So why can't you just believe it once and be done? By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why I love you was never built to settle it on its own, and why needing to hear it again was never the flaw you've been blaming yourself for. Picture the only group you will ever belong to. 25 people, maybe 50 at most. Anthropologist Robert Kelly's research on hunter-gatherer bands puts the number right there. The entire population of humans you will ever call your own for your whole life. No strangers arriving next month. No new city to start over in. No fresh crowd to disappear into. This is it. Every face you'll ever depend on, you already know by name. Inside a group that small, mattering is never abstract. It's counted every single day in things you can point to. Someone saves you the best cut after a hunt before you even ask for it. Someone shifts sideways without a word to make room at the fire. You go missing for half a day, and by evening, someone is already walking the tree line, calling your name. The person who shares your fire specifically remembers which berries make you sick, notices the second you go quiet, reaches for you first when the group splits the food. A child leans against you instead of someone else, and nobody has to explain why that matters. None of that is abstract. All of it is visible, physical, counted without anyone ever announcing the count out loud. And underneath all that proof, the stakes are not soft. Your standing here can move. It moves by the week, sometimes by the day. Fall out of this group and it isn't heartbreak. It's exposure. No one to split the kill with when your own hunt fails. No one to take the second watch while you sleep. No one to carry you if your leg breaks 2 days from camp. No one to warn you the water's gone bad or that something moved in the grass upwind. Out here, falling out doesn't just feel bad. It can end you, and everyone around you already knows it without needing to say it out loud. So the group was never going to hand you one answer and let you keep it forever. It couldn't afford to. The question underneath everything, do I still matter here, has to stay open, permanently. Because the real answer keeps moving. Who's frustrated with you today? Who's short on meat to share this week? Who noticed you hesitate during the hunt and quietly filed it away? A single reassurance, said once and filed away as settled, would already be a lie by the following week. So nobody ever got to file it away. Everyone kept watching all the time because the watching was the only accurate source of information anyone had. You were built from the very start inside that system, not because something is wrong with you. Because for almost the entire span of human existence, constant watching was simply correct. The only reliable way to know where you actually stood with the only people who were ever going to matter. That world is gone. So why can't one, I love you, just settle it the way it should? There's a name for what's actually running underneath that need to keep checking. Psychologist Mark Leary at Wake Forest University ran 5 separate studies in 1995 testing exactly this. His conclusion, your sense of being valued isn't stored like a memory. It isn't filed away once and left there, closed, done. It behaves like a gauge. Leary called it a sociometer. Live, constantly rereading. Built to ask one question on a loop, right now, today, do I still count here? Not once. Not at the start of a relationship, confirmed and never revisited. Every day, the reading resets to 0 and starts over. That isn't a malfunction. Sit with that for a second. A gauge that stopped reading the moment it got one good number wouldn't be protecting you at all. It would go blind for the rest of your life, running forever on data that's already gone stale. So it doesn't stop. It can't stop by design. It keeps sampling, keeps rechecking, keeps asking the same question at the same volume it asked yesterday, and the day before that. Because for almost the entire span of human history, the answer really could move day to day. Missing that shift wasn't a small oversight. It was the only warning you would ever get that something had already gone wrong before it cost you your place. You experience it as doubt, as needing to hear it again. Leary's data says it's neither. It's a live gauge, running exactly the check it was built to run, on a question that was never designed to close. So, what actually counts as proof to it? Here's the part that explains why yesterday's "I love you" doesn't carry over to today. Psychologist Arthur Aron at Stony Brook University ran married couples through a study in 2000 built around one simple contrast. Pair them through a task that's novel and a little arousing, or one that's familiar and mundane, 7 minutes each. Nothing more than that changes. The couples who got the novel task showed a measurable rise in relationship satisfaction afterward, specifically because it broke through boredom. Aron's data ties the effect directly to that mechanism. The ones who got the mundane version, doing something just as together, just as cooperative, didn't move at all. Same partner, same room, same effort. The only variable was whether the signal registered as new. That's the mechanism. Closeness doesn't run on a stockpile of confirmed evidence. It runs on a live feed of it. The system isn't asking, has this been established? It's asking, what's new right now? And once a piece of proof has been logged once, filed, understood, it quietly stops counting as information at all. Not because it stopped being true. It's still true. It's just no longer new. And new is the only currency this system actually accepts. So it isn't that you don't believe them when they say it. You believe it completely, in the moment you hear it. It's that the moment it's logged, it's spent. The gauge doesn't want the proof you already have, no matter how sincerely it was given. It's already looking past it, toward whatever comes next, because already confirmed was never a category it knows how to hold on to. Which means the real question was never whether you believed the words. Now, count how many of those proofs you actually get in a week. Count it, and the number is almost nothing. A few words, maybe once a week if you're lucky. Compare that to what the gauge was actually built on. Dozens of proofs a day, every day, for your entire life. A saved cut of meat. A shifted seat by the fire. Someone walking the tree line calling your name. That's not a small gap. It's a diet change with nothing put in place to replace what got cut. Modern love runs on the opposite supply. A handful of big declarations, sometimes months apart, expected to quietly cover everything in between. 3 words, said once, asked to do the work of 10,000 small ones. The glance, the gesture, the seat made room for, all the physical proof a body built over hundreds of thousands of years was actually designed to run on. No wonder it feels thin. It is thin. You're not imagining the shortage. So it was never insecurity. It was never about trust, or not trusting them enough, or trusting yourself too little. It's a sociometer, doing exactly the job it was built for, in a world that stopped feeding it the way it was designed to be fed. The gauge didn't break. The supply did. You're not asking for too much when you need to hear it again. You're not high maintenance or needy or somehow broken in a way securely loved people aren't. You're running on precisely the right amount of proof, calibrated over hundreds of thousands of years, for a world that quietly stopped existing. The need was never the flaw. It's the last working part of a system built for constant, physical, daily evidence, still doing its job faithfully in a world that only hands it 3 words and calls it enough. You were never asking for too much. You were asking for what you were built to need. For nearly everyone who ever loved someone, mattering was never proven once. It was proven daily, in dozens of small, ordinary ways nobody had to name out loud. Somewhere along the way, we shrank all of that down to 3 words, said occasionally, and asked them to carry what 1,000 small gestures used to hold. And some part of you is still standing there, having heard the words, still quietly waiting for the other 10,000 proofs that never came.